This is the worst violence of any of the ongoing college protests. UCLA, where counter-protesters used sticks and boards against a pro-Palestine encampment. It was more than 3 hours of unrestrained violence the night of April 30th that led to injuries and bloody scenes as campus security and law enforcement allowed it to continue.
They were there spraying, they were there pulling barriers, and they were there to very clearly do some serious harm to the students who were on campus.
When you look at the counter-protesters, how many of them were UCLA students?
I would say basically none of them.
Who are the most aggressive offenders? A CNN investigation of hundreds of videos from multiple sources shows many of them are outsiders, not UCLA students. Among the people who showed up that night, far-right with no apparent connection to the Middle East war, others driven by Israel beliefs. Among them, this man. He strikes a pro-Palestine protester with a long white pole and is part of a mob that pummels the man as he falls to the ground. Stop. He's seen in multiple videos wearing this white mask, striking the barriers, throwing objects into the encampment. Without his mask, we see who he is. 18-year-old Idan On of Beverly Hills, a senior at a local high school.
Come inside to the kitchen. How do I get inside?
I spoke with his mother.
Hi there. Are you Sharon? Hi.
How are you?
Hi. Let me introduce us.
She did not want to be on camera, but quickly identified her son from this picture at UCLA that night. She described in detail how her son found the mask and pole on the ground and said he was defending himself in this fight. On her Facebook page, Idan On's mother posted and circled a screen grab of her son from a local TV station. She wrote in Hebrew, Idan went to bully the Palestinian students in the tents at UCLA. Idan's mother and father proudly support Israel and defended their son's actions at UCLA, saying he is heading to Israel to join the IDF. After our interview, she texted to say Idan denies being at UCLA. Older men were also at the front of the violence. Tom Bibian recorded pulling bike racks, plywood, kicking protesters, throwing cones at the students in the encampment, water bottles at protesters, and yelling expletives. We went to ask Bibian why he'd gone to the campus that night.
Hi, you're Mr. Bibian.
Yeah, can you turn that off? You don't have permission to record me.
Bibian was wearing the same jacket he had on in the video from UCLA. He's a Los Angeles resident, age 42, seen at a 2022 pro-Trump protest outside the Los Angeles FBI office. He did not want to explain why he's on video doing this.
You're being a little rude, and I'm going to call the police if you don't leave.
Sure. Okay.
We identified not just Tom Bibian, but other older men who have no apparent affiliation with UCLA. I mean, you've seen them at how many other events?
Lots of different events, school board meetings, city council meetings.
Angie Gavant is a Los Angeles area public school mom who's been tracking right-wing protesters in her area. The group who she'd seen protesting gay rights in public schools were drawn to UCLA that night.
The revolution ain't happening tonight. Man down, man down.
Though they were clearly at UCLA that night, there's no evidence these men participated in the violence.
Here comes the Jew song, man. Cover your ears.
The man who is live streaming, Narek Polyan, appears to be a persistent agitator who posts anti-Jewish tropes on his social media accounts. But at UCLA, he stood with the pro-Israel crowd.
Hi, I'm Kyung Law from CNN.
Polyan claimed to us that he has a child at UCLA, though a student didn't accompany him that night, and that he had good intentions.
I was definitely keeping the peace, okay, at least trying to.
You weren't there to make it worse?
No, of course I wasn't there to make it worse.
I hate to say it, but I was expecting us to start working on an obituary the next day, because I thought something that serious would happen to the students in the encampment.
Do you feel like they won?
Based on the way they were cheering when the police arrived Tuesday night, I think they might feel that they won.
King joins me now. It's still stunning to me that the police, I mean, there seemed to be some police around, but it clearly didn't seem like police really moved in very quickly at all to stop this. You can clearly find these people. What's law enforcement saying they're going to do, or if anything?
Yeah, you know, that's a very good question, and we actually asked them. We went to the key law enforcement agencies. We started with UCLA Police Department. We reached out to them via email, their office line, text messages, cell phones, and despite our numerous attempts and very specific questions, we did not get any response, a clear response about their response that night or any follow-up investigation. We also reached out to the CHP and LAPD. They referred back to the UCLA Police Department. And back to your question, Anderson, I mean, we did identify not just the folks that you saw in the story, but additional people. You'll see them in that story that we'll post tomorrow morning on CNN.com.
All right,
Anderson.
well, thanks very much. Still ahead.